Welcome to Honest Whispers Preview. On this video I'll be previewing He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Classics Teela action figure from the Club Grayskull series, released by Super7 back in October 2007. I'm going to go over 6 different categories to preview this. First category is packaging. And the packaging on this is one of the best packaging I ever seen. Not only does it come with an outer carton, as you initially saw right here, it works well as a protective like a protective box. And it's basically just a cardboard box that comes like the other figures in the series. And then it comes with a 4-color window box. And you see I guess basically the Grayskull, the mouth of the Grayskull, but he has the door closed. And of course in the back it has the logo and everything, the UPC sign and or UPC code. And of course it has basically a sleeve. So once the sleeve opens, basically it has the mouth open. You can see the figure itself. On the back of the box, you do see the artwork from the Filmation, and basically you see the Grayskull in the background. And not only does it have like windows cut out for the eyes and nose, but it has side of the windows as well, so you do get slight, peek at the figure, but you really could only see the front of the figure. Now, one of the reasons why I didn't open this right away is because basically once I saw the figure I noticed something wasn't right. Now, first and foremost, this is a $52 figure on retail price right now. You may still find it for that price, maybe on eBay. But there are already people who's listing it at like double the price, like on Amazon. And the reason why is because when they previewed this or released this for pre-order, basically the picture they advertised it with was basically this. So it looks way better on this. The quality looks a lot better on the prototype. And just to give you a better look, I have printed a close-up picture, and you can see the face, the head, everything. Like, the painting's done nicely, it looks really nice. And then when you look at the face of this one, it looks nothing like it. It looks more like a quality, especially the face. It has like a quality of like maybe a $10, $15 figure. So to me, the value is more on the rarity of the figure and also on the condition of the packaging, and of course being unopened counts. So the box itself, I mean, this is very unique, and as I mentioned, all the same figures or not same figures, but all the different figures from the same series have this same box design. So the box design is great. I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. But for the design of the actual action figure, now there's a lot of points of articulation, so you could do some posing, but unfortunately even when I saw here, there's a huge gap between one of the legs. And of course, through the review of other people who have either same or worse, the issue. And apparently the bar or the peg, the cross beam or crossbar of the two connecting the two legs is a bit wider than they should have made it. And another thing too is the way they packaged it. She's kind of turned and basically not really holding the sword, but the sword's in the way. So when you see her little I don't know what to call it, but the little uh, hanging ornament from her chest plate, basically it's kind of bent. So everyone I've seen, like either through photos or videos, you either have to kind of keep it bent back to straighten it, because none of them is straight. So just the design of the figure overall isn't bad, but you know, just the way they designed the packaging, how they posed and stuff, unfortunately, they kind of outsmarted themselves and shot themselves on the foot. So that's a huge flaw itself. And other than that, this is very rare on the case of just the fact that it's based on the actual Teela from Filmation He-Man. So looking at the sword and the shield, very plain design, one color, one mode, pretty weak. And here's another flaw right here, is that the way they package the sword, the tip is really dug in there deep. So when you pull it out, you do have to be very careful pulling this out. You might be better off tearing the plastic apart. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with the bent tip of the sword. And you can always check other people's Teela and their sword as well, if it's not already bent when they were trying to put it in, which is kind of like really nicest way to put it is stupid. It's again shooting themselves in the foot. So the overall design on this, even it's not, I mean, I can't really see all the back and front or the side and everything, but from what I can see, the design's not bad, but I mean, they really did some stupid things, especially on the designing of how it's packaged. So that I give it a 7 out of 10 on the design score. Next category is sculpting, and when you look at the sculpt overall, especially through the lighting, with the details on the hair, the chest plate costume, overall it is done pretty good, or well. And then again, the execution on the legs, very flawed. And of course, when you see the execution on the face and head compared to what it's supposed to be, I mean, this is like bait and switch to me. I mean, this is like false advertisement even. So for me, the sculpting, it's terrible. And then when you look at it, especially like, I'll try to give it a good angle here, but I don't know if I don't think they did like a gloss painting or anything, but they could have done like a gloss finish on the face, so it looks like, it makes her face look like she had plastic surgery, which makes it, it's really hard to see it without the actual shine. Here you go. So her face, it really glares, and it just looks very like a plastic, especially the way her cheekbones shine and stick out. Very at close up, it is pretty ugly looking. So they could have done a much better job, but I mean, look at this. This is like something I would have bought like multiples of, which I'm glad I didn't. So it's possible, when I look at it closer, it could be possible they used a different type of plastic material, because when you look at the other plastics, it has more of a matte finish to it. And apparently the chest plate is more like a rubbery type of material, where it's very flexible. So the sculpting execution's very poor compared to what it was supposed to be, and for what the price is. Because again, if this was maybe like a $16, $17, even a $20 figure, would have been okay. I think even $25, but at a 52 retail, 51.99, yeah, that's pretty cheap quality for this. So I give the sculpting score a 4 out of 10. Next category is painting, and painting is basically, or colors, and colors basically is the quality of the paint, application of the paint. And because her costume is very simple, and at the same time there are multiple pieces, of course, whether if it's the hand, the elbow, they're all differently molded, so separately painted. Although the paint quality on these aren't as that great, I see a lot of, especially on the matte finish wrist, that one, it just looks like, and I've seen it in certain photos, it looks like either the paint scratches or either the plastic, color of the shield rubs on and stays on. So that's another issue. If you open it and, try to pose it and stuff, I mean, right away it's gonna be like your condition's gonna be ruined. So other than that, colors very vibrant, nice, accurate. Definitely a rare Teela, as I mentioned, because this is the only one that is accurately based on the actual filmation look. And even in the old original one, she would come with these accessories that she was never using or wearing in the actual cartoon. So the colors is pretty good. So the color score, I do give it a 7 out of 10. But other than that, the way the eyes and the faces are so ugly compared to what they advertised. So that's a definite hit. And as I mentioned, paint quality is not that great, especially for this. And if you look at certain edges, it's not perfectly straight edges, especially like on that wrist area right here. There we go. A lot more of an extreme close-up. So it's almost like certain areas, it's like chewed off or something. So not a straight line even for that area. And of course, when you have shield and sword just in one color, not even painted, yeah, that's just very low quality. So, but still, overall, the vibrancy, accuracy, it does count. So that's why it's a 7 out of 10. Next category is value. Value, basically, this is still new, but it is pretty much sold out in pretty much all retailers, whether if it's like a store or a web store or something. I bought mine at BigBatToyStore.com. I did pay retail. I even paid an extra $2 for the collector's box. So this one, as you can see, in pretty much pristine condition, which I do want to keep it that way and probably store it in case. I have thought about returning it for a refund initially, just because I was pretty upset with what I got compared to what I was supposed to get. I even thought it was an error. But still, due to the rarity, and it is very rare, Teela's like in my top 10 all-time, pop culture, favorite pop culture characters. And one of the reasons why is because due to such a rarity of her material, especially in the action figure statue material department. The only other statue that was really good and worth getting is the Teela statue from Pop Culture Shock. Once again, Pop Culture Shock. So they made a really nice statue, already sold out. Very nice statue, probably the best Teela, Filmation Teela, statue or figure, like a memorabilia out there. So with this, on the value, definitely would go up. That's one of the reasons why I'm not opening it and keeping it in a sealed, factory sealed box, which is just basically factory sealed tape. So for the value, and I do see it going up, even though right now you could still probably get it for right around the retail price or maybe a couple dollars cheaper. I would definitely recommend it on that side, especially as a collector and as more of an investment. Other than that, I'm another reason why I'm not opening it is because I'm disappointed on the quality. So value score, I give it a high 9 out of 10. I definitely see this going up in value due to the rarity. I'm hoping that Super 7 comes out with another version of this, but in a much better high quality version. So comes to the final category overall. Overall, I give this, which accumulates the 5 prior scores: packaging, design, sculpting, colors, and value. I give the overall score on this a pretty good, above average score. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you do get it or if already have it, I mean, definitely it could be worth opening and keeping. But for me, just the way it looks and how it turned out, I am disappointed. But I definitely see the actual value, aftermarket value. Even though it's not there yet, I definitely see it going up. So on this one, so I'm gonna keep it as an investment. And if you do plan on getting it, that's what I would recommend as if you don't have it yet, I really on the investment side rather than as a collector and opening it. Unless you get like a really damaged up box and already opened or used one at a very cheap price, I would recommend that too. But for anything really like too high, yeah, and even the box itself, I mean, it's just so well made that if you damage the box or anything, definitely would be something. There you go. Just want to be gentle with that. Would also, again, condition is everything, especially when it comes to collecting. So even the box itself, if you don't have it like that, I mean, I wouldn't mind opening it. But at the way it is for me, I am somewhat satisfied. So I give it a 6 out of 10 on the overall score. So to recap, packaging, 10 out of 10. Design, 7 out of 10. Sculpting, 4 out of 10. Colors, 7 out of 10. Value, 9 out of 10. And overall, 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Until next time, eat your vitamins and read the Bible.